I'm Brandon, and in the last 14 months, I built and automated my detailing business here in Charleston, South Carolina. And today, I'm taking you behind the scenes, showing my exact setup, showing how we make $120,000 every month, growing month over month, how we improve efficiency, and how everything runs day to day. So let's go ahead and see behind the scenes of my detailing shop. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys through both shops. We have two shops side by side. We've got shop number one right here, which is our ceramic and detail shop. We've got shop number two here, which is our PPF and tint shop. And I'm gonna take you guys through the showroom of kind of exactly our customer experience of how it goes from start to finish. And then also as well, then I'll take you guys inside the shop, behind the scenes, what runs day to day. So as we come inside the shop here, you're immediately entered into a showroom. So we have all of our materials here where we have marine, we have aviation, and we also have automotive. We have pamphlets here where people can go through, see the services that we offer: maintenance detailing, full detailing, ceramic coating, tinting. I need to add PPF in these as well. Then we have, which this is information based. Now we have infographics, which is gonna be actually what provides credibility. So we have kind of what we do, projects we've completed, and then our reviews. So these are really, really good marketing materials for you guys to have, whether you guys are going to trade shows, whether you guys are, having these in your showroom, or just giving them out to people at public places, right? These really have been the key for us building credibility. So you guys take a look at that right there. Propping these up, throwing a coupon on coating pamphlets in here for marine, aviation, as well as automotive. So we have our color changing PPF swatch book. We haven't done a full color change yet, so I'm pretty excited to do that. Whenever you walked in this door right here, you used to walk into the shop, and you guys might have seen on some of my videos before, but you used to walk right into the shop. So we ended up kicking out, there was a wall right here, and we ended up taking this wall out, carrying it all the way across. So we had a big showroom, and then we ended up adding that wall there. So we took down a wall here, added a wall there to have my office back there, and then a showroom here. And the reason why we did that was to enhance client experience. We wanted to give the client the best experience possible to ensure that there was really a place where people felt welcomed, a place where people could really come and they could see what they were getting. And also as well, something that was very transparent. So a big thing about me is transparency. So as we have the window, you guys can see right into the shop of exactly like as a client sitting here, or clients coming in to pick up their vehicle, right? Client can sit down, peek inside the shop, okay, wow, yeah, they see that. They see bright lights. That's a huge key piece as well. As you guys are trying to sell clients, having a client come inside of here, we immediately build credibility because this is an open, transparent space. There's lots of light. There's cool floors. There's, nice place to sit. There's all these information. There's information, right? And that's what you guys want to create whenever you guys do get a shop, is to make sure you guys create an environment where your client feels welcome, where your client feels open and transparent and bright and lively. That's who people want to do business with. We don't have a receptionist right now. We were thinking about getting one, but then it just didn't really make sense at the time. So we currently have our manager taking in all the pickups and drop-offs. We have a computer right there that has all the schedule on it and everything, so you can cash tickets out. You'll see here, this is my office here. So this is where, if there's ever any big deals that need to happen, I have two chairs right here. Of course, this is where I have all of my one-on-ones with my employees. But then also as well, a big thing is like if we're ever doing like a big deal with somebody or something like that, I want to bring them in here because it feels closed off. It feels, whenever people are talking about a lot of money, they kind of want to be in a private setting. So if I ever have a deal that's, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I always bring them inside of here. Okay, you want to sit down? Would you like a water? Would you like this? Would you like that? Asking them if there's anything that I can get for them to really make them feel comfortable and at home, and to make sure, I have the highest probability of closing the deal, because that's what we're here for, is we want to make sure that we can close deals, we can make money, and we can continue to grow. All right, cool. So now that you guys have seen inside the showroom, which is the main customer experience, as you guys can see over here, like I said, there's that window right over here. Clients can look into it, and then we've got the door that accesses into the office. Because I know everybody's really been asking, maybe kind of what products do we use, or what's the layout of our shop, or somebody that wants to get a shop, what kind of things do they need, stuff like that. I'm gonna walk you guys through the exact stuff that we use here, because like I said, I'm not focused on glamorous or having the most amazing looking shop. You guys don't see hexagon lights. They're not actually that great, guys. They look good, but you cannot polish paint with them. Like, they look cool, absolutely. They look great for videos, but they don't make sense with paint correction, right? You're still having to use other lights for paint correction versus the lights that I have are for functionality, not for looks, not for stuff. The switch tracks, I will say, I did get those for looks because I wanted badass content and I wanted to put a staple inside of my marketplace. But other than that, everything else that I have in here is for functionality. You don't see these crazy luxury cabinets. I have basic Husky cabinets throughout. They're all the same. So this cabinet does get quite a bit messy. We use pump sprayers for all of our main chemicals for washing. So iron remover, bug remover, degreaser. And we use pretty much Adams products for all of our stuff. So we use their Mega Foam, their tire and rubber cleaner, their iron remover. We use their detail spray, leather and interior cleaner, tire shine. So those are all of our bulk chemicals there. And then inside of here, we've got all of our bulk rags and wash mitts. We've got our wash mitts. We use the Rag Company wholesale Chanel wash mitt for everything. Basically a new wash mitt just about every vehicle. Unless the vehicle is absolutely hammered, we're using a new wash mitt because I don't want to put any more scratches in the vehicle than are already in it in itself, right? So if a wash mitt basically gets hammered on one car and then you take it to the next, you're scratching it, you're scuffing it, and if you guys are just doing a detail and you're not putting a pad on it, then it doesn't really make sense. Or if it's a brand new car, I don't want to put more scratches in it because I just want to do a light polishing phase to save us time and money. These are about like $4 a piece. So even if you use a new wash mitt, every single car is $4, guys. Like it's not a $10 wash mitt. It's not the crazy Rag Company like $15 wash mitts. It's like $4.50, I think. We have our Eagle Edgeless for leveling out coatings and getting off any waxes and stuff. Adams Polishes Bug Remover. And then we have our System X Renew Spray down here, 5-gallon jug. This is basically our spray sealant. And then we have an extra bottle of tire shine down there. And then if we get the spare tire for the van back here, as you can see, just in case we have a blowout. And then in here, this is kind of like miscellaneous stuff. This is all of our tools. And then in here, we have all of our rags. These are all Costco. This is where we get all of our rags. These are the best rags. They're my personal favorite. Since I basically got into detailing, this is what I've always used. Great quality. You can use them for inside, outside, basically everything. This one, we kind of have an assortment of different stuff. We have overstock of gloves, tape, drill brush attachments, tape, magic erasers, circle foam applicator pads, square foam applicator pads, a couple of miscellaneous chemicals, ceramic applicators down here. Somebody put a clay bar on the bottom of these. I don't know why they did that. We've got the other applicators. We've got clay bars in here, tar remover, glass cleaner, and then any gallon overstock chemicals down here as well. And then going into this cabinet here, we've got our compounds. This one's a little bit messy right now. We've got our compounds, we've got metal polishes, we've got any other miscellaneous chemicals here. We've got sprayers here, and then this is some of our boat chemicals and stuff that we have right here. And we also use these big bags right here, which is also a lot of boat buffing materials as well. Rubbermaid ladders here. We used the Cobalt ladders for the longest time and they were so heavy. As soon as I got these things literally like, they're the lightest ladders possible. We use them all the freaking time. And of course we have our taller Adams heated shampoo extractor. This thing works magic. This Adams pressure washer has literally been through everything. Like it's been through literally everything. And then also too, we got this reel as well. This was just from like literally Northern Tool. Something super easy, basic, nice for easy storage. Pull out, pull in. I didn't have that for a little while and the hose was just kind of like laid out on the ground. So that was super easy. But the Adams pressure washer, it's literally been left on overnight and ran all night long. And it still works literally perfectly fine. So I love Adams products. They actually do a really great job. I know they're probably white labeled, but I don't really care because the quality is still great. And the price is actually pretty solid as well. A headlight restoration going on right here. They still have to finish up in the morning. Here's kind of mid-process. Here's before. And then we have our bins as well. So our red bin is all of our dirty. So this obviously needs to go to the laundromat. And then our blue bin is all of our clean stuff, drying towels, rags, all that jazz. We have extension cord reels. We have 2 of them here inside the shop. We have our steamer down here. We just have a table for like mats, anything like that. If they want to pull the table over, work on mats, shampooing. Here's our portable vacuum. These are clutch to have no matter what. I mean, these things are really good. Sometimes like you get a Sprinter van that has, you know, terrible carpet. You can literally pop this thing in, boom, and these work super, super great. As well as we use these all the time on planes. So these are really good to have for planes because you don't always have power. Absolutely the best vacuum. VacMaster, this is what we use for all of our vacuums. 5.5 horsepower, 5-gallon. So it holds a lot of stuff, has crazy amounts of suction for that little of a vacuum. So those are the vacuums that we use. We have it on the van. We have one in this shop, we have one in that shop, so we have them all over. They're super great. These are the lights we use. These are just Lutech, like Amazon lights. These work great for paint correction. And the great thing you have about these as well is there's a controllable nozzle, so you can go through and adjust the lighting. So do you want 3,000 lumens, 4,000 lumens, or 5,000 lumens to make sunlight or white light or whatnot? Adam's polishes blower. This is to blow dry any cars off or anything like that that we need to. Another cabinet for storage. This is like really our miscellaneous cabinet. We have all of our air fresheners, all of our microfiber little screen wipers. We have all of our koozies, ceramic coating pamphlets, which reminds me we need to put some in the showroom. We have business card holders, business cards, any sort of like lease information that we have for the shop. Here's an extra modem, sweatshirts, hats. These are actually really crucial. If you guys don't have one of these yet, I would definitely work on getting one. They're about 200 bucks, but a jump box, like, and actually get a real jump box. This is the Noco Boost HD. I think this one was 250 bucks, but this is crucial. You're always gonna end up with somebody leaves the keys in a car, somebody leaves the lights on in a car, something like that. And if you guys have a car that's sitting dead in the water and you can't get a car around to jump it, or it takes time to get a car around to jump it, this thing's literally save us time and time again. And then down there is like our tablecloths, kind of get ready for shows, and there's just extra pads. Here's our mobile cart. Like I said, it's definitely a disaster right now. We're midweek of detailing right now. Although yes, I do want to clean work and shop space, but it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect because I know that it's going to get dirty again tomorrow. So as long as we have the supplies that we need, as long as the shop looks presentable for a client to come in, like if a client came in the shop right now, they would be like, wow, the shop looks absolutely amazing, right? They're not gonna be over here being like, oh, you guys have this applicator that's not inside of this drawer and this, that, and the other. You guys are focused too much on trying to be OCD and making everything perfect versus like, this stuff makes me money, guys. It's like focus on functionality versus something that like you want to look perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Once you guys get employees, once things start happening, stuff is going to get broken, stuff is going to get messed up. Like, stop trying to control everything. I don't know how this happens, but somehow every single week I always get on the guys, but we end up with like 19 interior bottles. I don't know how it happens, but it happens all the time. So the guys are constantly having to dump out interior cleaner. But what they do is the bottle gets over there and they're like, oh, this looks like interior, and then they just fill it up and it was detail spray. And it's like, right now it doesn't look like there's 19 interior bottles, but there always is. But this is kind of miscellaneous stuff. Like, we've got drill brushes on here. We've got tape on here, detail brushes, prep spray, compound, tar remover. This stuff works wonders. We've got glass cleaner. We've got applicator pads. We've got a heat gun down there, a blower, an extra extension cord. Platforms are really great as well. Of course, we have our roller chairs. This, guys, was one of the most prominent investments that I made in this place. This was I think it's $7,800 to get the split unit AC. Right on the back side, it pumps out and it goes down there, and then it pumps in, and this goes right here on the wall. And it was just so hot in here. Like, it was like literally unbearable hot. The guys were literally wiping hoods and ceramic coating, and sweat was dripping off their nose onto the panel. And I started talking with my mentor, and I'm like, do you think I should get a split unit AC? I'm like, I'm just leasing this building. Like, I don't want to put any money into it. And he said, look, he said, I get it. You don't want to put $8,000 into this AC thing, but look at it like this, okay? I think I was doing $80,000 or $90,000 a month last summer. If you're doing $80,000 to $90,000 a month, and once summer hits, your production goes down by 30%, so now you're really definitely now only doing 75, 80 grand a month, whereas you're losing $10,000 to $15,000 a month because your guys are overworked, your guys are hot, your guys are tired, they're super fatigued, whereas you got this, your efficiency would improve by 30%, and you're actually making another $10,000 to $15,000 a month with having this. And immediately my brain expanded. I'm like, wow, that's a great way to think about it. A $7,000, $8,000 investment to be able to make 10 to 15 every month. And not only that, the now culture, the now morale, all of those things start to increase. So that was not a cost. That was an investment that I made into the business that I definitely reaped the benefits of monthly, but then also as well, and financially, but then also as well, culturally, the guys were much happier. The guys were much more willing to want to come to work, want to stay later and things like that because they weren't as burnt out. So definitely a huge investment there. That was major game changer. We've got this Makita Quiet Series. This is actually super quiet. It's a 3-gallon tank. I would not recommend getting a 3-gallon tank. I just haven't ordered a new one. It hasn't been a big enough deal to the guys yet, but they'll probably end up, Kyle, my manager, will probably end up ordering a bigger one because this thing literally, you spray it for like 15 seconds and it runs out of air. So if I were you guys, I'd probably focus on shying away from a 3-gallon tank and more go towards like a 5 or a 10. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit louder, but way worth it in terms of functionality, guys. Functionality is the key word. I bought these racks for the buffers, so usually all the buffers go up here. These are a couple buffers that are broken. We have 2 of these that are broken, so we have to ship these off to Rupees. I think it's like $125 for them to renew and basically rebuild it. So I'll just send those back. They'll rebuild it for 125 bucks. I got all these from Max Shine. These are great. All of our pads that we use are the Adams pads. I really like them. Heavy cut wool. We use the Adams blue foam pad. And then also we use the Adams finishing white pad as well. And then this one step pad, the red, it's like a medium wool blend. So it's like a mixture of these two. So it has more cutting, but it also has polishing in it as well. So really, really great pad there. And then we have our 3-inch pads. I think these are all on back order right now. We've got some other chemicals up here. This is our shop computer that we have here. This is what Kyle uses basically to look at the scheduling, order stuff here, any inventory that he has to order. He just ordered the 3-inch pads, just ordered the 6.5-inch pads, rags, rag company. So the main things that we order from is Amazon. We have a business account with them. Some of our other like miscellaneous items, like I would say like spray bottles, like tape, like applicator pads, detail brushes, and then all of our chemicals we order from Adams Polishes, as well as our pads. So System X is what we use for our ceramics. We have glass ceramic, trim ceramic, our Revive, our Crystal SS, which is our 3-year ceramic, which we buy the blank label bottles, as well as we have our 10-year coating as well, which is much, much less expensive as well. Trim ceramic here. So we have all those, and then all the stuff that we put inside of our cars. We have the screen wipers and all that kind of stuff here. Here's all of our used pads. Any pads that we need to clean up here, all of our used pads go here. And then the guys like lunch boxes and things go here. We have the Nano. This thing works wonders, getting tight places. I keep the guys stocked up with water. Make sure, just buy your guys water, right? Make sure inside of your shop, you guys have a fridge that always has water inside of it. Because like whenever a client comes in, especially summertime, they're hot, they're tired, they're exhausted. Most of the time, people don't carry water with them. So whenever somebody comes in, it's just a nice kind of like, almost like a housewarming gift where it's like, hey, you know, would you, not really a housewarming gift, but like a greeting gift, right? Where it's like, hey, would you like a water? You know, sometimes some people do like Gatorade, Red Bulls, but I just do water. I think it's pretty simple, pretty easy. Hey, would you like a cold water? Yes, I would. Awesome. And it's just something that kind of like enhances client experience. The biggest things were, like I said, making sure that you guys get AC inside of your shop because it's gonna be super, super hot. We've got these fans as well that just kind of help push around some air. And then I also did install cameras. So I have camera there, 2 cameras inside the office. I have 3 on the front, 3 inside the other shop, 1 inside the office, 2 inside the shop. And it's just very, very crucial to have those cameras because we, at some points and times, could have upwards of $1 million worth of vehicles inside the shop. And it's very important that everything is under surveillance in case something happens to a vehicle, right? It's not to watch your guys to make sure your guys are working. That is not the point of the cameras. The cameras are to make sure your work environment is safe, to make sure that if something happens, you are covered under liability. Like I said, these things are for functionality. They're not for show. They're not for fun. They're for functionality. Pretty simple. You guys might see like, wow, this is actually super, super simple, because it is, guys. Like whenever I moved in, I bought 6 of these shelves. I bought a pressure washer. I bought chemicals. I bought rags. I bought the ladders, and I had the cart. I had these workbenches. I got a fridge off of Facebook Marketplace. I bought trash cans. I put the Swiss tracks in. That was it. This place was literally empty. I didn't have the decals on the walls. I didn't have any of that. Well, actually, to start, we didn't have the Swiss tracks. And then about 60 days in, then I ordered the Swiss tracks. I put the Swiss tracks down. And then 60 days after that, then I got the AC. 60 days after that, I started putting up signage. I started making it full encompassed. I put the rag bins in here. I put, you start to add these touches overall. So you don't have to focus on getting in the shop and literally getting everything done at one time. There's still things that I still add to this place constantly because I constantly want to keep making the place better. We didn't do the renovation on the shop until 6 months after we moved in. So these are things where you want to get in, you want to start making money, you want to start proving the business model. Then once you start stacking cash, then once you start making money, then start adding on. Do a renovation, do a $15,000 renovation, add an $8,000 air conditioning unit, add $8,000 flooring. If those are things that you really need within your business, then you can add those. But don't focus on trying to get everything done at once. Focus on functionality, over everything. That's the point here. If you guys don't get anything else, I'm here to show you guys how simple this is. Where is like the craziness? Guys, there's no craziness behind this. There is a lot of things that go into this through finding the shop, through the negotiations, through all of that stuff, but actually setting it up, like, don't overthink it. Once you get your shop, don't overthink it. Just set it up just normally, and you don't have to go crazy about anything. Let's make money, guys. It's summertime. Let's go check out the second shop. All right, so now that you guys have seen inside the showroom, inside the ceramic shop, we're going to walk you guys through the second shop that we have right next door, which is our tint and PPF shop. So right now, here's where all of our supplies are inside of here. Right now it is kind of messy. We always keep ceramic stocked up in here as well. And then inside of the cabinets, we've got supplies like rags. So this was very helpful to be able to have a workbench in here. These are our peel boards for tint. So after we print them out, we put them up on here, and then this is where we actually peel them off, put them on the car. As you guys can see right here, this is a window. So this is some leftover film that we had on another car. So what you do is you'd spray the backing, pull this off, and then this would go on your window right here. This was literally just left over from another job. In every PPF shop, you gotta have a cut table where everything gets printed and plotted down there, and then everything gets laid out here where you have to weed everything out. So here's where we pull off and weed out all of the film and vinyl that gets cut through the plotter, and then we trim it up in pieces because we print everything out on a big sheet. So this whole table gets covered, and we might have a fender here, a fender here, a mirror here, a bumper there. So we just kind of cut it into pieces, roll it up after we got everything plotted out, and then go ahead and start putting the pieces on the car. We have a roll-in plotter. At the time I wanted to get graph tech, we've had 0 issues with this plotter. It's literally Coke and Pepsi. This plotter was right around, I think, $8,000 as well. It's been literally amazing for us. We've never had any problems with it, cut speed and all that kind of stuff, and it's been absolutely incredible. So if you guys are thinking about getting a plotter, if Graph Tech's out of stock, I mean, I think this was literally like $500 less than Graph Tech, and these are actually supposed to be more indestructible. Then we've just got a little setup here. We've got the computer and stuff like that that's hooked up to the plotter, and that just sends all the messaging over. We've got tint software, and we use Core for our software. So we use Core for our PPF and our tint. It cuts out everything. Only thing we don't cut out is the windshields, because windshields are very tricky. But as you guys can see here, we just finished up this truck. This was a detail. Let's say like doesn't have a PPF job today. We don't have PPF jobs every day, but whenever it comes in waves. So there might be some weeks where we have 5 full front PPF jobs, and then we might have a week where we don't have any, right? But we always have overflow in the ceramic shop. We're always able to stack things up to make sure that our PPF installer is always, always, always guaranteed with work, whether it's ceramics, details, or PPF. This was actually a full detail that we did inside and out. This one was right around $400. So they started on this one this morning, just wrapped up about 40 minutes ago, and then it's sitting in here so it's not outside getting dusty, and it's ready for the client. Inside of here is just kind of like a storage room. So this is where we have any sort of meetings that we need to have as well. Store any excess film, any leftover boxes. We've got our canopies, our generator, and then also as well, like I said, our rolls of film and stuff like that. So this is our meeting room. This shop isn't really AC'd. It has the door that we keep open from there that puts AC in here. The nice thing about this is it's an interior unit. So the whole ceiling actually has insulation on it. And then of course we have our ceramic shop there. So we don't have the sides that are radiating heat. All we have is the front and the back that aren't insulated. So this shop stays pretty cool, honestly. Like, we don't need to put a split unit in there like we did in the other one. As long as we keep this bay door closed, that office door open, usually it stays pretty relatively nice in here. During winter, we just turn the heat on and it stays a little bit warm and stuff like that. This is kind of, in a nutshell, exactly the PPF shop. Like I said, nothing crazy. I decided against the Swiss Trax flooring. I think it looks cool. I think it is very functional, but honestly, it was $8,000. And whenever we moved into this shop, right now this shop's a little bit dirty. It's literally a detail shop. Like, it's gonna get dirty. There's gonna be oil leaks, right? Like I was like freaking out over an oil leak inside of that shop because I paid $8,000 for the Swiss Trax. What's it matter? Everything's gonna get dirty. Everything's gonna get messed up, right? So we just went with strict regular here. We're gonna do epoxy. Epoxy was like $4,000. It's slippery. It gets messed up. Personal preference, really. I think the Swiss Trax looks great. It's great for content, and we have that shot for content. But in here, you know, I just went with no Swiss Trax, no epoxy, and it works literally just fine. like I've talked about many times, I focus on what is going to generate me money. I don't need the flashiest stuff. I don't need the most perfect looking stuff. I need something that is going to generate me money today. So if I can move in, I don't have to wait a week for epoxy floors. I don't have to wait 2 weeks for Swiss tracks and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on it, but I can move in and it can make me money. That's what I'm gonna do. So that concludes the shop tour of my detailing shop here in Charleston, South Carolina, that does $120,000 each and every month between ceramic coating, PPF, as well as our one single mobile detailing unit that goes out to people's houses. And I focus on functionality over how things look. We don't need the flashiest shop. We don't need the most beautiful shop. There are shops out there that might look cool from the outside, but generate half as much revenue as I did. And it cost them 5 times as much money to outfit it, to get it in. Like, they look cool, but how much money are we actually making? That's the whole point of building this business. The whole point of us building a detailing business is not to look cool, not to look flashy. Yes, we wanna have good content. Yes, we wanna have beautiful cars in our shop, but really what matters at the end of the day is the team that we have, the marketing that we have, the sales that we generate, and the revenue and the profits that we bring home each and every month. Because ultimately we do this to gain freedom. We do this to make money and to make as much money as possible and to help as many clients as possible. If you guys have any questions, shoot me a DM on my Instagram, shoot me a message here, leave a comment, let me know what you guys wanna see next. Thanks for watching.